Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're starting our first section in Chapter 11. We're going to have a Chapter 10-11 combo test, and we're going to be looking at function transformations. Now, the first thing that we need to know is talking about the 5 parent functions and what they look like so that when we transform them, we know what the original started with. So our very first type of function is our linear function, and it has an equation of y is equal to x. This means it has a y-intercept of 0, and we're going to move 1 up and 1 to the right. So that's what this looks like. Our next type of function is a quadratic, which of course is a parabola, which is y equals x squared. So a parabola, y equals x squared, looks like this, and that's our parent function for quadrilateral. Our next one is a cubic function, and our cubic function is y equals x to the 3rd power, and it looks like this. And our next one is absolute value function, and our equation is y equals the absolute value of x. Of course, we know this looks like a v, and it's going to have that base there at 0. Our last function that we'll be looking at is our square root function. And our equation for our basic parent function of a square root function is y equals the square root of x, and that looks like this. So now that we know what these functions basically are, we're going to go ahead and see how we change the equation to move it to the right or to the left or up or down, or to transform that function. So we're going to go ahead and take a look first at a vertical shift. Our vertical shift is moving up or moving down, and we're going to see how that's going to change our equation. So we have the function f of x and then plus k. Plus is a number. When we add a k to it, then it's going to go ahead and shift that function up. If we have f of x, which is the original parent function, minus a number k, then of course that's going to shift it down that number of spaces. So for example, if you're looking at this blue line, which is my new one, and comparing it to the parent function, we can see that it goes up. So we have the equation y equals x, which was the function, plus 4. Our next one here, as you can see, our parabola is going down. So we start with the parent function, y equals x squared, and then we're going to go minus 5 in this case for our new equation. Our cubic function, we're going to go ahead and move that up. So we're going to have our new equation of y equals x to the 3rd power plus 6. And that plus 6 shows you that it's gone 6 up from our original parent function. Our absolute value one, as you can see, we're looking at going down. And that's going to have the equation y equals the absolute value of x minus 1. And our last one, we're going to have our square root function going down. And that's going to be y equals the square root of x minus 2 in this case. So this is how we look at a function and move it both up or down. If we move it up, we're going to take that parent equation plus a number. To move it down, we're going to take that parent equation minus a number. So that's how we deal with vertical shifts. Our next type of shifts is horizontal, and that's moving it to the left or to the right. And this one's actually the opposite of what you would think. So that's why this one can be a little bit difficult. So you have to keep that in mind as you're looking at our functions. So the way it looks differently in our equation is we have a set of parentheses around the actual function, and it's inside that set of parentheses or inside that square, and we're going to move it to the left or right. If we have the original function plus k inside, then it's actually going to move it to the left. So it's actually going to move it into the negative area. And if we have f of x minus k, it's going to shift it to the right. So a little bit opposite of what you would regularly think. So if we look at this function over here, as you can tell, it's shifted to the right. So we're going to go ahead and change that equation to f of x minus 4. Notice that the x minus 4 is all in a set of parentheses. For our quadrilateral parent function, we are moving it to the right. So once again, we can take a look here, shift to the right, and we're going to have, for our function there, y equals x minus 3, and then the squares outside the set of parentheses. So notice when there's no parentheses, it's going up or down. When you have that inside your set of parentheses, it's going right or left. So looking at our cubic function, as you can see, we're shifting it to the left a number of spaces. So as you can tell, we're going to have inside our parentheses our x plus k, our k being how many we moved it. So that's the equation y equals x plus 5 to the 3rd power. For our absolute value here, we're moving it to the left again. Once again, moving to the left means we're going to have inside that set of parentheses our absolute value plus 2 in this case. So notice the absolute value surrounds both the number and the coefficient. Our last one here, we're moving to the right. Once again, we look up here, we see if it's going to the right, it's going to be minus that number. And it's all going to be underneath the square root in this case. So it's going to be y equals the square root of x minus 1 because it moved to the right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to practice this today. You're going to have a Khan Academy on it. Our magic word for the day is grandfather clock, and you'll learn more about why that is our magic word of the day as you complete your Desmos activity. So remember, take notes of these, then you're going to go ahead and do your Desmos activity, and you're going to finish up with Khan Academy with 70% or better. I hope you all are doing well. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.